equally wonderful. So right now we actually have the cool opportunity to have the public release of a new video that was created by Mariah Smith, who is sitting here in the audience. She was the producer and the director. And what's interesting for me is I met Mariah when she was an undergrad. And she was a young student that she was a colleague of, couldn't get broadband internet at home in New York City. And so it frustrated her and upset her so much, she created a documentary about it. And I was in that documentary because at the time I was working in Boston on issues related to digital equity. And so I got to know her when she was quite young. I've been at this a long time, and now Mariah's been at it for several years and really is passionate about issues related to digital equity. And so I'm going to turn it over to Mariah to talk a little bit about it. We're going to then show the video. We'll take a couple of questions at the end. So thank you so much for being here, Mariah, and allowing us to be the public release.
Thank you, Deb, for that generous introduction. And it really is a privilege to be here. And I wouldn't be standing up here if it weren't for Deb, the kind of all too humble leader who has inspired me and guided me in many years and over many years. So thank you, Deb. And thank you to all the other leaders in the room who are fighting every day to make sure that basic opportunities are available to everyone in Connecticut and across the country. So thank you. I grew up outside of Kansas City on the Missouri side, where Google Fiber launched its gigabit fiber network in 2012. As Google updated its progress maps, green dots signaled planned fiber construction, and red dots indicated no fiber investment, no planned construction. Troost Avenue, historically dividing the city along race and income, clearly separated the green from the red dots on these maps. Residents on the red side of the avenue were already disconnected, isolated from the connective tissue of our era. And Google Fiber was not going to change that. It just wasn't part of the business strategy. And I understood this map with the red and green dots as a plan for what would become a form of present-day redlining, and it screamed injustice. In the era of the gig economy, internet networks form another layer of fundamental infrastructure. With dots of red and green fresh in my mind, I sat through college classes on market imperfections and government intervention, grappling with this concept of the digital divide, one as complex as it was misunderstood in Kansas City. The deeper I dove into my economics training, the stronger my conviction grew. Much like roads, much like electricity networks, broadband should be available to everyone on a non-discriminatory basis, irrespective of where they live. And the business case simply doesn't align with that goal. So what do digital divides look like? Numbers, statistics, pie charts. There's only so much of the story that data can capture. And on this topic, we're well aware that we don't even have the sufficient data to capture who's connected and who's not today. I wanted to make this disparity, the red dots, the green dots, visible, palpable. So I set out to find human stories, to illustrate some of the human stakes, and to connect the threads we heard about this morning, the homework gap, high schoolers sitting on the stairs of libraries, telemedicine. And I want to enlist all of you in this room and over the live stream to help me devise ways to make this video useful in your ongoing work. As you watch, please consider opportunities for future screenings, for ways to splice the video up into short 7-second Twitter videos, and to embed in relevant campaigns. Let's get creative. And in the words of Representative Elliott from this morning, let's popularize this idea. So the Dividing Line series, this video, which is about 15 minutes, is the longest one of the series. And on the website, dividinglines.org, there are a couple shorter videos highlighting rural infrastructure divides. So without further ado, let's get this rolling.